Please like, subscribe, and be sure to click that bell button for regular and exciting indie film content and your chance to be the first to engage with the Liftoff Global Network of Film Festivals as we embark on launching the careers of the filmmakers of tomorrow.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. Today we are talking to Mo Rebeck, one of the Audience Choice winning filmmakers across several of the Liftoff festivals. Thank you so much, Mo, for joining us today. We will be screening your film a little bit later on during today's stream. And if you are watching this live and you have any questions for Mo or for the Liftoff team, then please ask away and we will answer any questions that you have during the stream. Mo, why don't you tell us a little bit more about who you are, what your project was, and the inspiration?
Thank you for inviting me, Natalie. My name is Mo Rebeck, and I go by the artist name of Robodrone also. I have developed the world's first app songs in the form of the Download My Heart series, taken from a Download My Heart song that we did 3 or 4 years ago, which BBC played and other stations in the UK. And that in turn has allowed us to make movies of our favorite cities around the world, which include London, New York, LA, Dubai, and now the Metaverse, as you know, a city of the future. And we are very excited and appreciative that you have given us a platform to show the films and discuss them and share them with the world.
And I mean, like you said, you're in London, New York, various cities around the world. So there really is scope for a global audience in what you're trying to do, which is just a fantastic concept. I remember our first conversation where we were talking about potentially reaching out to embassies around the world to see if there's any tourist videos that you could maybe engage with. And I think we spoke about this after, but there was 1 or 2 countries that you did get in touch with.
Yeah, we got feedback from Mayor Sadiq Khan,
Nice.
personally through his assistant Richard Tribe, that he had liked it, and he liked the Download My Heart song as well as the film, and he asked his assistant to pass it on to the department that deals with London tourism on behalf of the city and Greater London as well.
Nice.
London Partners it's called, and Greater London. So, we have a positive vote from Mayor Sadiq Khan on one side, and the new incoming mayor of Seattle, Washington in the U.S., personally wrote that he would love to collaborate with us on a song for Seattle.
See,
so those
amazing.
are 2 feedbacks, generated by your comment on one of our
But it goes back to what
on
we've always said to filmmakers, especially because our festivals are international, for the live screenings especially. Reach out to your embassy in that city or in that country to see if there's any expats or anyone that they know of that would be interested to come and support their work. So when we spoke, I was just like, maybe this is something that you could do as well. And I'm glad to hear that it has.
On it, and there you are in your own city, London.
Yes, perfect. So what I think we should do now, as we've had such an amazing introduction, is screen your project, and we can speak over it and talk. Have a few questions that I'd like to ask. So I'm just gonna load your film. Here we go. So that is now starting my side, and we should be able to. Yeah, there we go. It'll be loading any second now. So this is Download My Heart in the Metaverse. So this is quite a big jump. I mean, it's the way a lot of the world is going into the Metaverse. But I think as maybe a traditional filmmaker, creating something for the Metaverse could be a little bit scary considering how new this world is. What was your approach to entering the Metaverse?
Not afraid. Since I contributed to the digital era at the start of it, the digital era in the form of video on demand and satellite technology, which I was granted 9 U.S. patents for helping video war journalists cover a conflict anywhere in the world, anytime, any place, from anywhere to anywhere, anytime.
Oh, wow.
To generate a 2-minute clip to send back to their news organization, their news network, TV news network, because if you don't get your video back to London or New York today, it's history rather than news.
Exactly.
And so a one person portable unit is what I developed as a prototype, and I even got an Emmy nomination in 1993 for that.
Wow.
As the most innovative technology of the year. So I'm not afraid of the future or digital era. I'm very okay with it, and
Yeah.
I helped develop it, and now I'm helping develop the cultural application of the digital era.
And it makes a lot of sense. So when people see this, they are now hearing your background. It makes a lot of sense in the steps that you've taken with your career. That was actually one of my questions. So thank you for filling us in on that. I guess as well, because you've had multiple download my heart versions, not just the Metaverse, but this is the one that everyone is seeing right now. From a filmmaking perspective, I'd love to know some of the hurdles that you had to overcome in order to get this project off the ground. Maybe you have a particular moment where it didn't look like it was going to work, or there was something that you had to do to overcome a situation. Is there an example or two that you could share?
Yeah, the metaverse is still not built out. It's effectively, individual silos rising up, each separate from each other. They're still not interconnected.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out some kind of common denominator between them to present it's a concept in the sense that, as the song says, in the metaverse, all things virtual are real. The concept for that was, chips and circuit boards, and then animations between them and people walking through them, and that's a kind of methodology or symbolism we use to present the unfolding of the metaverse.
Yeah.
And our own parallel work in developing a video game.
Yes, this is exciting.
Again, a dual reality video game in the sense that the hero of the game, Shio #Queen superhero, a kind of James Bond Tarzan character, sings in real life for real. Why? In order to raise consciousness and support for her battles against evil in the game.
Nice.
And she's distributed for real in the real world via Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, etc., through Universal Music Group. So she straddles the two worlds. She's a very modern character in that too, in that she doesn't kill her opponents, she disables them with her electromagnetic weapons to interrogate them to get to the higher ups. So it's it reflects the modern world rather than a 1960s idea of what a video game should be. And that she says to the player, I'm not your puppet, I'm your partner in the game. So, we work together to win. So all these are novel concepts, and they also apply to the metaverse. So her fashions now we are promoting them in the metaverse as metaverse fashions, separate from a video game fashion, even though they are one and the same.
Absolutely.
On another level.
And we spoke about the video game maybe a couple of months ago. How far along on the process are you?
Yeah, we will be ready with 27 levels. It's a free-to-play for mobiles game.
Amazing.
So we'll have 27 levels by the end of December. So we are,
Wow.
we are actively looking to collaborate with a distribution partner for it.
And who would you say would be your dream gaming distribution partner for this?
It would be someone who understands that the reason for the churn in video games is that people are bored of games, of the ways games are structured. Why? Because life is now very rich for them in the form of their connected devices and what they can do with that, relative to the electronic box, which is where the video game industry is still stuck in. So in large ways, so that they just pour in more blood, more gore, and so you have no blood, no gore, we don't want to talk to you. And they're pouring in more blood, more gore, more special effects, but the money they make from the games are pouring back into it to get clients in who are dropping out.
Sure.
Right? And the reason is people are just bored. I mean, the world is much bigger now for them. They can do so much more. Just like we say in the Metaverse song, you can be a hero in your own video game.
Exactly.
Right?
So you were saying that there's going to be 27 different levels, or that
Yes.
will be in place.
It's a runner fighter game, so it has these levels. So about 27 levels
Perfect.
is a normal.
And you said
for this genre.
And you said that this is going to be a free game.
Free to play, yes.
Yeah, so there's an app that people download.
We make money by advertising within the game, or having ads that you need to watch, until you come to the next sequence.
So again, looking into the future, if you have a free-to-play video game, you're constantly building your audience. We were talking about audience before we went live and how important it is, especially as a filmmaker, to maybe think outside the box on how you can build your audience and prove yourself to distributors and sales agents and production companies to get exactly what it is. And ultimately, the aim for you is either a feature or series under the hashtag Queen's World. So I think it's very clever that you're opening a game that would then potentially have millions of downloads, if not more. And then on top of everything else that we spoke about, you're just building and building and building your audience. And I think that is absolutely fantastic. Could we talk a little?
Go ahead, please.
Could we talk a little bit more about your audience numbers and how you managed to build this, just so our audience can understand?
Yeah, we have built this game. I think is the only one in the world that has come from the zone of GIFs. So we built, and we didn't build. We built we created something like 700 GIFs. Now, these are long form GIFs of 25-second long, which is unheard of in GIF land. They're usually very short, as you know. So I deliberately created long form GIFs to tell a micro story. And my friends at Facebook, the executives at Facebook said, you will never succeed with this because people have no attention span longer than 4 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 or 4 seconds.
I said, let me give it a try. Well, lo and behold, it expanded like crazy. We had 30 million people download a month.
Wow.
A month. So we built it up to over 2.5 years to 467 million people who selected and shared the GIFs from Jiffy.com. I'm an artist partner of Jiffy.com, so shared with another 467 million people by definition, right?
Yeah.
Since Jiffy.com is like a florist. You go there to get a bouquet of flowers to send to a friend or to give to a friend. Rather than go there to admire the flowers. It's not a botanical garden. It's a practical place. So, and beyond that, it is not the fluffy numbers of Instagram and Facebook and others where you can buy likes and buy followers. You can't. You have to be a human and deal and essentially, work with bots. In Jiffy, you must be a person to actually, navigate Jiffy and select and share a GIF. So there's no program that can do that. Yes, we could pay $10 to every 467 million people to go select one of our GIFs, but that's a stretch.
Yeah.
So it's 467 million times 2 by definition as a minimum. That means 1 billion in almost 3 years. No
Wow.
promotion, no promotion by us, no promotion by Universal Music that set up the channel for us, and no promotion by Jiffy. It's all word of mouth.
And
So it's all organic, right? So we built up that audience of recognizing hashtag Queens, including Shio. So we literally built the game on top of that. And as we have discussed before, we believe that now with the hashtag with the Download My Heart series, which is also part of the hashtag Queens, is developing into a romantic comedy or a reality TV show set across different cities in the world, just like your film festival is.
yeah,
I
think it's
which are the new world, right? I mean, these mega cities are drivers of culture in their geographic areas.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the scope for this project is endless. It's just your drive and passion that will make it happen. So whether you decide that you want to make this into a reality TV series or a feature rom-com, whatever it may be, it's just persisting and pursuing exactly what it is that you want.
Well, with your help, hopefully, we can as I indicated before, we'll lift off the first the first example of how it can be done by building it, step by step, and in bringing in for the first time a huge audience from the social media world, ready to recognize the name and therefore to buy the tickets or to download the game or whatever it is, they already know it
Essentially,
in a positive and good way
so essentially you've built a franchise.
without thinking about it.
Yeah.
You
I
could say that.
I saw that you also have a hashtag Queens clothing line.
Yes, we have a clothing line, actual clothing line, mostly denim based clothing for which we have on a store. But beyond that, we have the virtual fashions for Shio in the game itself. So that now there is something called Metaverse fashions, as you know.
Yep.
So they're the big labels have them already. Already have stores.
I think H&M have
virtual lands.
Yeah.
So we will also offer our hashtag Queens outfits from the game, which are called skins, as you know, to the wider market of Metaverse fashions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, it's an endless world that you're building, and you already have an amazing audience to back it up, which will only ever work in your favor. Yeah, I guess so you have the game that's in process, you have these other ideas along the side that you'd like to do. Have you what else is on the horizon for Download My Heart?
Well, mainly just to now go to the next level to use our music distributors, for example, down Universal Music, to help with the soundtrack, of course, of any upcoming film and their sister operations in film distribution and streaming and so on. And you guys, in terms of your input and help and having worked with us on this to take it to that new level with bringing this audience with it. And expanding the genre, if you will, organically, and from a whole new audience source, if you will.
So one thing that did come up at the end of the music video, which we played is all of the festivals that it's taken part in. So it's done extremely well in the festival circuit.
Yes, it's done Metaverse has done the best of all of them. I think we're almost 50 awards
Wow.
and counting, from various film festivals all over the world. And that's the nice thing is that it spans the globe, whether it's Japan, China, India, Turkey, Europe, all the European capitals, the U.S. We even got it from Rio de Janeiro,
Nice.
which is our first from Latin America. But it means that it has a universal appeal. And
Sure.
if it has a universal appeal, it must have some kind of universal language underpinning it in some way, and cultural notions that make it, very very attractive. And as we were discussing before, I think that in the old world is composed of individual countries as silos rising up into the sky, separated from each other, with not easy for them to share ideas and share words and share cultural artifacts. But this new world is building on top of that. So if that old world is an atmosphere, the new world of social media influence culture is the stratosphere, and that's more homogeneous. Even though there are different platforms within it, it's easier to share and stimulate and create new things that are picked up by everyone in the stratosphere.
Absolutely.
And so it's becoming almost like the first culture, the metaverse, if you will, or the social media influence digital culture is becoming more and more the first culture, and the old silo cultures are becoming the second cultures.
Yeah.
Because they're much less they're more unwieldy relative to, the new what I would call super culture.
I guess you could call it a super culture with the amount of users and every day the amount of sharing and what is it, millions or billions of photos get distributed a day.
We're talking billions now, all the time, billions. Yeah. I mean, and therefore I think it's accelerating cultural evolution, like never before.
Yeah, 100%.
What would take 100 years would now take, a couple of years.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Digital now mediates physical. So you can't think of doing anything physically as a company or as a government or as a institution
without a presence,
until you deal and pay attention to its social ramifications.
Exactly.
Social media ramifications.
Exactly. And some people may absolutely love that and some people will hate that. But it's business, and
it comes with the territory.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, everything that you're doing, everything that we're doing, is business, and it's just this whole new segment that has crept in that we will just have to be aware of. Exactly.
And your program does a great job of translating that and making it available and accessible, and also open to feedback and questions, so that you can help a whole international community that relies on your facilitation of the path forward.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. One of
Most welcome.
Our key goals here is to continuously network. So we have our film screenings, but we want to meet our filmmakers and we want to follow their journeys and see what they're doing and if there is any way that we can help. So it's great that we're having this conversation, and for all our other filmmakers, it's great that we have had huge success stories in the past, and I'm sure there'll be loads more to come in the future. I guess as we're coming to the end of this conversation, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience?
No, other than, we are putting it out there, we want to very soon collaborate with entities that can help us convert our fantastic success and bring our base of supporters to a streaming platform that can utilize Download My Heart, for example, in different cities as a kind of Donald Mahar in London, New York, Tokyo, in a reality TV series structure.
So you've mentioned this twice now, the reality TV. How does it link? What would you say the concept is of? Obviously, the concept is related to the music video, but what would be the key grip?
These big cities have a common, increasingly a common culture between them, so that they would guest host the event in their city to show, how they are reflecting and expressing and celebrating the new culture
Okay.
from their individual vantage points, and that would be interesting to all other cities and all other people from the countries that these cities are in. So it becomes organic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice, great.
And a great song that you can, and very positive, and everything is positive in it. As I said, we could not have succeeded with 700 GIFs, long form GIFs, unless there was in the face of Facebook executives telling us you won't succeed, and they should know, right? And we succeeded enormously. So that means there must have been a demand that was unmet.
Exactly.
Since we did not stimulate this demand, we just met it.
Yeah, you facilitated it, exactly. Well,
So it means it's there.
Definitely. If we look at the success that you've had on the festival circuit, the audience numbers you have, your gifts that you mentioned, everything that you've done to create this franchise, you're doing everything in the correct order. So really, really well done. And I do wish you all the best with Download My Heart.
Thank you very much, Natalie, for having me.
Thank you. You can stay on the call. I'm just going to end the stream and then we can continue. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.